Thank you. Okay. All right, so now let's explore a little bit about the history of Body Talk and how it came to be. So the story actually begins with Dr. John Veltheim, and he's the founder who, when he was actually just a little gaffer, he was born with 6 different genetic diseases. So that's an awful lot. If you've ever needed motivation to explore healthcare, that would be it, wouldn't you say? Yeah. So he didn't do very well in terms of his health, and that meant he couldn't go to school a lot. But he was very bright. So when he wasn't at school, he was actually able to study whatever he wanted to. His parents would take him to the library and let him look up whatever he wanted to. So by the age of 9, he was really interested in the art of Zen meditation. And I don't know about very many 9-year-olds, but I haven't seen anybody yet that was really keen on Zen meditation. So he explored that and hypnosis, and he understood a lot about the mind. And by the time he was 12, 13, he was actually well enough through taking care of himself to go into the martial arts. So he studied martial arts, and his body got knocked around a lot, bones got taken out of place. So his family took him to see the chiropractor who had put him back in, and he thought that was really cool, and this is what I want to do when I grow up. So he did. He went on to become a doctor of chiropractic and a doctor of oriental medicine. So he went on actually to run the school that taught both of those, the College of Natural Therapies in Australia. And he ran a very busy practice in the meantime. So by busy, I mean he taught 6.5 days a week. He taught 10-hour days, or worked 10-hour days, and every hour he saw an average of 20 patients. He had a huge staff. He estimates that he's seen more people in his time in acupuncture days than 5 practitioners do in their entire lifetime. So he gained a lot of experience, and he became known actually as a master diagnostician. So he had a lot of people show up on death's door, and he helped a great number of them to go on and do very well. So it was in and around this time frame where he was really passionate and educating himself in all the different varieties of healthcare backgrounds like osteopathy, bioenergetics. He explored iridology, you name it. He was studying it, Reiki, philosophy, and integrating it into his system of healing. Now, needless to say, when we get caught up in the rat race, something in our life usually falls apart when we run at that kind of pace for any extended period of time. So he got a divorce, and that was his wake-up call. He decided to slow down and took time to go travel the world, and he began to really intensively study Reiki. And in that process, he met a second wife, Esther Veltheim. They joined forces. They taught Reiki courses around the world, and they also taught what became known as the life sciences today. So now they're called Mindscape, Breakthrough, and Freefall. So he was very passionate, and so was Esther, about offering all of this work together. And they were so passionate and so well attended, they didn't actually own a home for 7 years. They traveled from location to location to location, and they taught. And they got to play a lot too, I'm sure, in there. You know? Indeed. So he was getting caught back up in the rat race, though, after 7 years straight of traveling and working, and he became quite ill. He was diagnosed with Epstein-Barr virus in his liver, and he was given 2.5 weeks to live. That's not an awful lot of time, you know? So he thought, okay, I better start using all these things that I know how to do for myself. And nothing was really getting to the root of it. So a friend of his over in New Zealand said, come see me. I've got this brand new technique. It works really well in the immune system. I think you're going to really like it. And he said, okay. So off he flew to New Zealand. He got the technique done. It's now known as body chemistry. You can learn it in a Body Talk class near you. And he ended up actually in the bathroom for a few days straight. He was really sick. He had nausea, he had diarrhea, he had vomiting. In other words, he was really healthy. He had an immune response that helped to finally clear his system out. So that was over 20 years ago. So from 2 weeks to 20 years, that's a pretty good lifespan expectancy, you know. I thought that was pretty amazing. And he did quite well, so well that he decided to investigate what's the missing piece in our healthcare system.